So yesterday I did not do a blog. I tried to, but I wasn't feeling very good and kept falling asleep. So I'm going to make up today and do two to get us back on schedule. So what we'll do first with what was supposed to be Tuesday's vlookup formula. So a vlookup formula is used to match the data in two different cells and return a value if they match. That's essentially how it works. The key point here is that what we want to do is we want to take the value that's here and we're going to match it up to a value that's here in the table. VLOOKUP works with a table. That's one of the things we got to remember. And then what that will do is return a value here if the values are exact matches, which is why we use this term false here. So to break this formula down, the first thing we'll do is put the cell we're looking up. That's our matchup data. And then we'll do a comma with the table range. You'll notice here the table, name tables make this easier. One of the things you'll see with this table when I go to design view is that it says scores and this one says sections. Really, really important to name your tables, and the reason why we want to name our tables is this. Notice that all we had to do was put scores in here. Otherwise, we've got a whole lot of information that's going to go here for this table because we didn't name it. So we want to just use scores, and that makes it easy for us to just name this table. You'll notice we get the number 2, that's the column. Instead of using letters, they'll use numbers. So this is column 1, which is our matchup column, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, one of the things you can do if you want to make this really easy, particularly if you have a lot of data, you can go to File, and you can go to Options, and you'll see when you're looking at this where you're able to go in and actually change the way this looks. And so let me just click through these real quick and right here. So under formulas, working with formulas, if you check this box that says R1C1 reference style, that means that those columns become numbers. I don't like to check it. I'll normally just keep them like this because it's easier for me to remember, just because when I'm working with this, A1 is a heck of a lot easier for me to remember than thinking about the number, for example, of 11, which would also be A1. But you could do that. Now what it's going to say is if this value here matches the value here, then it's going to return the numbers for that column, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's what we want this to do. So to write that, we come over here in this box and we're going to say equals VLOOKUP. Now our lookup value is here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a $sign here because it's constant. It's always going to be A2 for us. It won't change. So then we're going to say comma. So if A2, now remember our table is scores. Our column was 2 because that's 2013, and then we're using false because we want the exact match. So you'll notice it gave us the composite. So when we change here on our drop down, we could go through and it'll change it. So when we do this drop down real quick, let's just make sure this is set up the way we want it to look. A2 through A6. So let's just double check. Yeah, so that's right in there. So now, I don't know why that's not working. There we go. English, math, notice these are changing. So math we see at 18.7, so we can go up here and look, and math is indeed an 18.7. So now one of the easy ways we can do with this formula is because we did the $signs here to make it absolute, we can just drag this down, and then we can go back here and change the column. So remember we wanted 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that gives us our values right here. Now just because I drug this down, I can actually just go in here and no fill. So we'll just do the same thing with this one, no fill. And then I'm going to take out all the borders on this. So year, score, here we go. Of course, these are just based on the formula. So one of the things we can do, we can check it if we go into it each time. Because when we go into it, we can actually check and see if the scores are actually changing, which they are. So that's what we want to do to create that vlookup formula. And vlookup is fantastic because every time vlookup, whatever we enter into here is going to match up against this, and then it's going to return the value of the cell. This is the same way I use to calculate like raw ACT scores, is because when you get the raw number, you can match it up to the scaled number doing it this way. And so this is a really good formula to keep handy. So the next thing we'll do on the next video is this interactive graph format, is we're going to graph this so that when we make a change here, it actually shows up over here graphed with the current data.